I'm giving somebody the blues today.
When you talk about some of the bugs that like we're experiencing with Tekken 8, this is the bug that I've never seen before in any fighting game. Zafian activates heat, knocks Devil Jin away. Devil Jin is tech rolling. Heat smash. Look at that. You see the KO. Now look at Devil Jin's health bar. He still has health. And then the hit after the fact is what really kills him. When you talk about the old dev team being brought back, I think this is why. I think this is why more than anything is because all of these weird bugs. And this ties into what Nee said. Shout out to King J for sharing this thing. So in arcades, you pay money for an early version of the game, and then you can play it, and then that feedback goes to the developers, and then when the game finally releases on consoles, platforms, whatever, it's better. But for Tekken 8, they didn't do that, and now they're testing on live servers, and players aren't happy about it. And you even have Nee, who is saying the same thing, where he's not happy with being a tester of Tekken 8.
Because we are Tekken tester.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. We take to money to Bandai Namco. We buy game and we are pre-tester and we are post to Twitter and hashtag TA report. Yeah, this is a bug. And Bandai Namco, oh, okay. And they save money and they have worldwide Tekken tester everywhere. We are tester, not player.
All the other games that I play, even Street Fighter, I don't encounter weird bugs and then have to report those to the dev team. And then the fact that that's what we've been doing for Tekken 8 for over a year and a half is kind of ridiculous. But then also the part that I would add to this is, so how long is this supposed to go on for, right? Some people are wondering if we'll even get a season 3 of Tekken 8. I think we will, but then will we get a season 4? Wherever you think Tekken 8 ends, how much of that time will we spend testing the game, right? Think about it like this. We're going to spend pretty much all of season 2 giving feedback about balance, about bugs, about glitches. And then season 3, hopefully, fingers crossed, they fix it. But then if they don't fix it in season 3, we're going to have to continue game testing the game. So basically what I'm saying is, for the entire lifespan of Tekken 8, we're going to be game testers, not players. That's not good in my opinion. Without arcade circuit, every player is a tester. Yeah, that's why my long post was saying, even if they had 40 testers working 40 hours a week for 6 months, that's only 16,000 players will test. Yeah. So, testers can only do so much testing. But even if that is the case, why other developers, fighting game developers from Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Fatal Fury, these other fighting games just seems to have a lot less bugs, even with the same type of testing. So why is Tekken falling under? And once again, I just keep going back to that old dev team being removed, because maybe that was it. Maybe they're doing the exact same thing that all the other games and devs are doing, but they just don't have the talent. That's basically a 5 years worth of QA testing. You cannot humanely test the game. It's too complex. You need arcades. I'll show you why. I'm sending you something now. Okay, so this is Zangief, right? This is the grappler Street Fighter. So what is that, like 37 moves, right? Let's just be generous and say 40. So if we count the modern controls as well, would you double it or would it not be doubled? Because they would need to test this as well, right? Because the comparison that Dell is highlighting is with King's move list. Now, for those of you who don't know, I don't know exactly where King stands in Tekken 8, but I know at the start of Tekken 8, he had about 179 moves. So even if we do double Zangief and say 80, King still has double of Zangief and more. And this also doesn't, and you also got to keep in mind how there's a lot of moves for Tekken that's not on the move list, right? There's a lot of things with Heat that does different things. Like they don't fully explain, Yoshimitsu's flash, everything that it does, the no sword stance, the sword stance, the heat element of it, the life gaining, right? And this is something that I think Tekken did as well, is that they kind of put themselves in a hole. the more that Tekken 8 goes on, the more that I think Heat was a mistake. Not, and I'm not talking about the balance inside. I'm not talking about, Heat is annoying, 50-50s. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being able to fix the game in a timely manner. That's the part that I'm looking at, because when they go to address a character, they have to now tackle this character in like 3 different ways. Let's use Yoshimitsu's up back 1+2. So you have the normal non-heat version of it, which has the least amount of range out of it all, and I don't think it gains any life, right? So you have that one, and then you have the no sword version, which does gain life and has more range. But then you also have the heat version as well, which does the same thing as the no sword version, but now it consumes heat. So that's 3, and also they deal a different amount of chip. So that's one move that has 3 different types of properties on it. And I can imagine if someone had an issue with a move, it's not so simple for the developers to go in and fix it, because you're dealing with like 3 versions of the attack. From the outside looking in, having to balance one move 3 times because you wanted to put heat in there and life gain in there or chip damage in there, it seems kind of problematic, and I think that's probably why they're struggling. And someone said that Heat will make a return in future games, and this is why I say no. I think they might have bitten off more than they could chew with Heat. I think the concept of Heat sounded good. Like, oh yeah, let's put heat in the game. We can make it aggressive. We can, spice up the gameplay a little bit, and I could be wrong. And this is something that maybe Dale could answer or give like a type of insight to. But do you think that they considered how difficult it would be to balance? Like, it's a lot. They should stop giving characters moves. I never thought I would say that, but I think they should. I don't think anyone really fathom how much work it is to test the game properly anymore. Not even the devs. It may be most complex game in the world in terms of unique moves. Yeah. And that's not a stretch as well. That's not like an exaggeration. So it says the stats were created by counting the number of entries in each character's move list imported from Waivu Wiki, which each hit in the string counts as a separate move since it has its own frame data. Throws are included, 10-hit strings are not. Some moves are basically the same for all characters, like 2+3, 1+3, 1+2, 3+4. And also some commands are counted multiple times since they have different properties in different situations, like I was talking about, like generic throws connecting from the front, side, back. Panda and Kuma are counted as separate. In Tekken, we don't count strings as separate moves, and I think we're at a point where we should. Talk about that Claudio move that everyone's crying about, and that charge up unblockable it doesn't have to be charged up. It could just be a normal hit, and it hits you, but you could charge it, and then the properties of that change. It goes from a normal hit to a charge unblockable. And then also think about Yoshimitsu's guard break as well. Yoshimitsu has King Child 1+2. You can just do normal 1+2 and it hits, or you can charge it and guard break, or you could break floors. It's a crazy move. That one move alone does a lot. And when you really lay it out like that, this is what you end up with. You have Yoshimitsu who has 322 like individual attacks. King 209, Raven 198. The moves here total 4,777. So this is why Dale said that this might be, what'd you say exactly? You said it may be the most complex game in the world in terms of unique moves. This is why. And by the way, this does not have the DLC characters on it. Set the DM of the source. Okay, let's look. Anna's here as well. Okay, so you literally have all the characters in the game. Total 5,644 total. An insane number for sure. And Tekken 7 wasn't this way. Right? Everyone compares Tekken 8 to Tekken 7. With Tekken 7, you had arcades, and that really is the point. But also, how will they move forward? Because, like, arcades is dead. It's gone. That era is done. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there who would love for arcades to open up once more, but that's just not going to happen. Hey, Dell, here's a question. Do you think the Tekken developers can see which moves are the least used in the whole game? If so, you could just delete that way. Metrics team can see that for sure. Oh, that's crazy. So of course you don't want to just go in and get the lowest moves out of there, but that's a starting place, right? You said this is fighting gym. This is fighting gym. Okay, we gotta lock in then. This is gym. Oh, we're gonna cook fighting gym. Come over here, you scrub. Hey, fight against a pro player calling him a scrub, that's like the worst decision you can make.